until tomorrow at 12 noon, and that today's agenda be deemed as part of the agenda for tomorrow, and that a budget passed on a Tuesday session be upheld and subsequently transmitted after tomorrow's legislative consideration. I so move.
So second. He did well. Even though the phrase was...
no phrase, no.
Already. Mr. Presiding, co-presiding, colleagues to the movement, I will be ready to vote if you can accept the simple amendment, owing to the fact that the time of our closing is crucial, and we have other businesses that are not being concluded. I will be ready to vote if you can accept the motion that amendment that a resolution be raised with 1/4 vote. I mean, 1/4 signature for us to extend our session by 1 week. For not more than 2 weeks. Not more than 2 weeks. Not more than 2 weeks.
So the colleague with the amendment.
Yeah, but I'm listening.
Considering that we have extended today's session till tomorrow, after that session, if there is a need for us to raise a resolution to extend our stay, the Speaker will call for that resolution. Therefore, I respectfully reject.
Already, Mr. Speaker. Already. Honorable Marvin Cole. Honorable movement, I will be ready to vote were you to accept this simple amendment that today quorum does not. Hey man, give me a chance. Give me a chance. That today quorum does not constitute tomorrow quorum. So I want to be clear on that. If you can accept this amendment that today's quorum does not constitute tomorrow's quorum.
Surplus does not vitiate. I accept.
All right, so folks, if you're just joining us,
what is unanimous?
Ladies and gentlemen, the vote is unanimous. Thank you very much.
all right, folks, if you're just joining us, this is Focus on Liberia. We are here 22 minutes after 7 o'clock in Liberia, in the dark chambers of the House of Representatives, very dark chambers of the House of Representatives, where the House has been in executive session since 11 o'clock today, been arguing among themselves, discussing issues among themselves, and they opened the session some minutes after 7 o'clock in the night, p.m., 7 o'clock p.m., and they just adjourned. And of course, the budget that was passed on Friday, on Tuesday, has been suspended, withheld, as you heard in the motion, and it might be reintroduced to the floor of the House after the tomorrow's deliberation. We're going to speak with people who have financial expertise. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for following. My name is Prince Mova. Yeah, very dark chambers of the first representative. No, is today now, and of course, this is how it is. Thanks for following. So,
following some legislative discussion, okay, that it can be transmitted to the Liberian Senate. That's what they said.
Okay.
They said the passage of the budget should be upheld.
What does that mean?
No, upheld is just a simple grammar. You know, it means that the decision is upheld. That means the decision is the decision.
So that is the budget has been passed.
Yeah, that's what it means.
You said following some legislative discussion.
I don't think they're constrain the passage of the budget. They are discussing. They have their own discussion. I did not raise issues pertaining that. So you could speak to the other lawmakers on what are their issues.
According to the motion, some legislative discussions to take place, upholding the budget, the passage of the budget, but at the same time, legislative discussions to take place. I mean, once the budget is passed, what other legislative discussions?
We have big legislative agenda. That's the very first thing. The agenda is not exhausted.
So running the budget that is not passed?
If you listen to the motion, you should take the motion into conclusively. But will not speak for any colleague here. As far as I'm concerned, by the motion on Tuesday, the budget was passed. And today, if you listen to the motion very well, it said the budget should be upheld. The passage should be upheld.
Or withheld?
He said upheld. Please
is it withheld or upheld?
Upheld. Now withheld. Upheld. You listen to it very well. So it still means that the budget has been passed.
Representative Gray,
okay?
One of those.
So they're saying that after tomorrow's discussion, then they can transmit to the Liberian Senate the copies of what we passed.
What is concerning is to spend almost an entire day in an executive session, and it's after 7 o'clock p.m. now.
Colleagues have issues that are raised in the executive. I don't have issues. Personally, I have had no issues. Okay, so the issues they've been raising in the executive, I cannot discuss those issues. So you better speak to them so that those issues that they raise in the executive, I mean, some of them, maybe some of the issues could be said, but not the specific issues.
But do you agree with some of the issues they're raising? Like it was just 7
When you say they agree, I don't have to say what's the issue that they raised.
That 7 lawmakers passed the restated budget, something which they raised.
As a professional, I didn't listen to that. Okay, but assuming that even 10 lawmakers sat in session, the first thing is that before a session commences, it means that there should be 37% in the House of Representatives. We are 73. So once you have a quorum, okay, even the speaker can leave. And once session continues, the next in line will preside. After the speaker, the other person, after the deputy, then me. After me, then the chairman on judiciary. So even if 10% stay here, when there was a quorum of 37% counted, they can take a decision. It's your decision to leave on session. This one is a decision to leave on session. So I just know, let's get it very clear, that the quorum makes a determination of session starting. Okay? So when there's a quorum, that's why sometimes you see at the end of the day, 28% vote. Okay? Sometimes you see maybe 22, sometimes you see 40% voting. It depends on the quorum. So once you have a quorum,
into a committee of a whole on that day.
It's legislative part of the plenary. Legislatively, if you read the Robert's Rule of Order, they will tell you that because some of the rules, the subsidiary rule has to do with Robert's Rules of Order. It's very clear that the plenary can constitute itself into a committee of whole. It's not strange. Even in the U.S. Congress, anywhere you go around the world, that practice the presidential system. I don't know much about the parliamentarian system, but the plenary can constitute itself into a committee of whole and take cease of a matter and discuss that matter and take action on that matter. So it's no violation. And I don't think anybody raised the issue that there has been violation or plenary constitute itself into a committee of whole. And many of you have been here where plenary constituted itself into a committee of whole. So that, I mean, for me, it's a non-issue.
So can we say now the agitation?
But why
that
you
we were
alone
hearing,
just asking all the
we were
questions?
hearing about the speaker stepping down now has been quelled effectively.
Speaker step down.
One of your colleagues raised the concern on Topo. He is saying if the speaker doesn't adhere to the
nobody
he will leave a campaign.
My friend, the plenary is a higher decision-making body. People don't have authority to ask the speaker to step down. There are procedures here. If you want to remove anyone here, you have to write an official complaint. It's clear in our rules. When you write the complaint is sent to the Committee on Rules of Administration. It's a procedure. When the committee comes and report, once the committee makes a report, then plenary takes a decision. Anybody can talk on the floor anything you want to say.
Can we answer the issue raised that kept you here up to 7 o'clock p.m. as a result?
The issue of the speaker, let me restate, is impossible. Nobody can remove the speaker. I can tell you that. You want to remove the speaker, you have to wait. When we come back after January, you can decide who becomes the next speaker. That's the constitutional right. But for now, forget about it. Anybody who said that is a bluff, maybe got an angle.
Great. You said the decision is upheld. That means it states.
I'm not saying that's why the motion states.
Yeah, then why?
No, I want you to go back to the motion.
Why is it now there is
and the motion says after the legislative discussion tomorrow, the budget will be transmitted.
Yeah, so my question was, if it is upheld, then why should there still be discussion over it?
No, it's not just the budget, it's all legislative matters. So those who raise the motion have their own issues on what are the legislative matters.
Follow to that question. That question. The budget was passed on Tuesday.
It's a big open statement that the fellow who raised the motion said legislative matters. So they can discuss tomorrow. You will be here. You know we wanted you people to be here for us to have discussion. But what happens in the executive, as chairman on the executive, I cannot break the rules of the legislature to discuss that. But one good thing I want to say emphatically, that the budget is passed. So you can repeat me.
So my
question, the budget was passed. Yeah. That's why the motion said the passage should be upheld. Okay, that means stay passed. Okay, and we should have some legislative discussion on a lot of legislative issues. That's what they said. So they could speak better for themselves. But I will not speak for any lawmaker.
So today, accusations have been resolved. The long-standing today among lawmakers.
What's the accusation?
I was asking, the budget was passed on Tuesday. Why has it been gone to the Senate? You still having it around the corridor of the House of Representatives.
When you say why has it not been sent to the Liberian Senate, it's an easy thing. Sometimes when the budget is passed, it could take a week, and you understand, to put all of the ingredients into it. Because when you pass the budget, the first and foremost, let me say this, that you look at the budget in terms of the motion, the amendments. You saw some amendments here today. So the chief clerk will go through all of the amendments, they add it up there, and then transmit the budget. As far as I'm concerned, the budget is passed.
Thank you.
Yeah, and all of you here, let me restate, all of you here, go back to the motion, play, listen to the motion very well. As long as many of
withheld.
Upheld. I told you what they.
That's what we're going to listen to.
Yeah, you said upheld. So
maybe it also depends on the tone.
No,
the pronunciation.
My friend, you got to listen to what the colleague said. But I just want to be very clear that nobody has that authority to stop the budget passage. Nobody. I would never support, let me repeat, any individual, okay, it doesn't matter who the person is, to stop the passage of the budget. I will never be one of that. We presided over the passage of the budget. The budget is passed. Okay, the communication will be sent subsequently to the Liberian Senate. It's law and gospel. It's not a debate. We cannot hold the budget in ransom for any other reason.
Was the speaker actually held on hostage?
Let me say, we never ever hold the budget in ransom for it. What you call in hostage? The speaker.
That's what we heard. That's what we heard.
In hostage? Who has the capacity? There's not an area who against all reside. If you want to argue against all the sergeant armed to put you outside, it's not possible. The speaker has the biggest legislative blockage. So how do you hold him in ransom? For what reason? How do you hold him, in hostage? That is not possible. People can carry their gossip and say what they want to say out there. But the speaker is our speaker. The speaker will be protected. The speaker will be defended. And excuse me, anyone that has issue with the speaker, the deputy speaker, other presiding in succession, you can wait till January and you make your decision through your votes. So there was not question. There have been no question on the floor today about replacing
the usual formalities
the speaker.
Didn't happen. The committee on Waste Finance didn't review no committee review, and you just constitute yourself to a whole and pass the budget. Why the budget was not reviewed by the committee?
Why the budget was not reviewed? This is a recast budget. You know what is a recast budget?
It's a
recast.
No,
restated. Yeah, well, let me tell you, recast the budget. Okay, it's like a budget that existed before, and reports are made whether revenue is performing or revenue not performing. Readjustment into the budget is not a brand new thing that you're going into. Maybe that just 1 or 2 addition. So the plenary deemed necessary. You know, on our rules too, you should be able to understand that we have 3 breaks on our rules. The legislature should be closing. Okay, effectively we should be closing, except we extend our time. We should be closing tomorrow. Okay, so the instruments, we should conclude all of the instruments, many of the instruments. Maybe that's why the motion was.
Does that mean the committee, the ways of the ways?
Yeah,
for the ways of making committee. Yeah, but I think the question you asked is the committee ways.
No, excuse me. When you say hasty, who colleague? Is the colleague right to stand on the floor and defeat the passage of the budget? This is a political horse. This is not a joking place where people got to stand on the floor and stand up. If you left session, that means you neglected the Liberian people function. That's what it means. No, my friend, if you will leave and you have a quorum, it's your choice. Who makes that determination? You don't go hold any lawmaker and bring into session forcefully. It's not a procedure yet. So you make your decision. So go ask those lawmakers who left session during the passage of the budget. Okay, you really need to ask them why you left. Is that right to stay or to go?
Honorable, what you're saying does that mean that the Committee on Ways and Finance does not take charge of a recast budget? Is that what you're saying?
No, not what I'm saying. We passed a budget year before. You remember there was a supplementary budget year during the course of last year. You remember when we brought the issue of the RRA electrification, the $1 million for the inner city boys, okay, increment of the budget for MCC. We also spoke about the issue of paying millions of dollars for the CSLG, you remember? The electrification process, etc. Okay? We plenary constituted itself into a body of a whole and passed that budget. You remember that very well. So there's not strange. I don't know why you're asking this question about plenary constituting itself into a committee or whole when you have covered the legislature. So make reference to that supplementary budget.
Is there anything?
Similarly, it was done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, so again, we are still here in the very dark chambers of the House of Representatives. Like I told you from the beginning, there. Yeah, let's talk.